back to my channel. My name is Shiro Juguna and I am back with another video, and thank you so much guys for 100 subscribers in 2 weeks. I just started YouTube and it's just amazing how fast I grew. And if you haven't subscribed yet, smash that subscribe button because we are going to be having more of these fun and deep conversations. And today the big question is education overrated? And I just want to say and point out that I do not despise education and I am not against education. I also want to point out that I have been through the public school system of this country for my entire education life, my primary school, high school and university. So I might say things that you won't identify with. I am sorry for that. So with that, some of the things that I might say may be controversial to you and you might feel like you don't want to take in everything, and that's totally okay. You can have like you are allowed to have your opinion and you're allowed to have a different opinion from me. By one, I appreciate the fact that it is through education that I met so many people that I know today and the different people from different places that I've interacted with. Otherwise I would be in the village because I come from a village somewhere in Laikipia. And I appreciate the fact that education opened my eyes to see so many opportunities that otherwise I wouldn't have seen. But I have so many things that I feel the school systems that I went through didn't cover, and also the things that we felt, the things that were done in the name of education that were not right, and that's what I want to talk about today. And first, I just want to say that I don't feel by any means like education should be punishment. And that's what it was made to look like, because I went to high school in Nyahururu, which is cold. Nyahururu is super cold. And I remember like in Form 1 we used to have morning preps at 4 a.m. And every morning the deputy principal would go around classes telling us to remove our jackets because we are going to fall asleep. And it's cold. It's 4 a.m. in the morning in Nyahururu, for Christ's sake. What was that supposed to mean? And also the fact that before going to class at 4 a.m. we had to have cold showers. I know different people have gone to different schools and they had different privileges, but I feel like something like hot showers, those are things that schools can fix, especially so if a school is in a very cold place. But these people couldn't do that because there is a way comfort was equated to failure. You would hear people saying a student doesn't need a good mattress because they are going to sleep, but that's not the case. A good mattress doesn't make you oversleep, and a bad mattress doesn't give you good grades automatically. Those are some of the things that made education look like punishment, and I am so happy today when I go to the village and see some of the public primary school embracing boys wearing trousers instead of shorts, because the students go to school in the morning and it's cold, and you just meet with a kid wearing a short running to school because schools should be punishment so that people can pass. I don't feel that was right. Something else that I didn't like about school and everything was the fact that education for so many years and still today has been used as a measure of worth. Like, if you can get good grades, you can get away with anything. You can get away with indiscipline, you can get away with just being rude to people, you can get away with anything. And I didn't like how even like some people at home, children would get favored because they had good grades. Luckily enough, I was a performing student, and I know there are some privileges that I enjoyed just because I could perform in class, and I feel those things made students that were very disciplined and students that were very talented, who couldn't get the grades. They made them feel unseen. And the comparison, the culture of comparison, like parents outrightly would compare their kids to someone else's kids, and parents would say, why are you not like so and so? What is it that so and so has and you don't have? That's why they are before you, like they score better grades than you. And I feel like that comparison just made everyone blind to what else people could do. Because there are people, like I remember growing up, there are people who could run, there are people who could play basketball, there are people who could do sports, there are people who could sing. But the mere fact that they couldn't get good grades made them, overlooked. They were always overlooked, and sometimes just a small mistake, or maybe the mischief of being, let's say, a teenager, it was over amplified just because these people couldn't get the good grades that teachers wanted them or parents wanted them to have. And those things, I think at some point they just catch up with the type of society that we have, because we have valued stuff, we have valued grades on paper over people, over the essence of who people are in the inside. And over time we silently communicate that as long as you can get good grades, we're fine. You can just get away with anything. You can just do whatever you want to do, And something else that I know will bring a lot of controversy, it's homework. Man, to be honest, I don't think homework is a good thing. I did a lot of homework in my years in school, and today, because I'm working, if I don't manage to do something by the time I'm going home, I just don't feel like I want to get home and start doing that thing. Like, I don't want to carry work home. And I feel like it's the same thing when children leave the house at 7 a.m. in the morning or whatever. Nairobi children leave the house at 5 a.m. And when they leave the house and go to school, it's the same way as myself when I leave the house and go to work. So they spend the whole day in school studying and doing everything, and then when they come home and they're supposed to rest, again they have schoolwork. And to be honest, that is the one part that I don't think is fair for the children. And I think going home, it should be a matter of rest. And I know parents won't agree because they don't want to see their children watching TV and doing all those stuff. But just think about it. What do you want to do when you get home? You just want to chill out. You just want to have fun and just think about the day. And I think it's just the same for the children. And something else that I hated about school, it's the shame culture that was cultivated in schools. I remember one of the schools that I went to, and every time we did an exam, we would be lined up from the first position to the last position. And unfortunately, some of the people that were not performing very well, they also had they were big-bodied people. And I used to hate the fact that teachers could actually talk about the size of their body. Why is so and so performing better than you and they are smaller than you? To be honest, we are endowed differently, and people may be small but they can perform better in class, and those tall people can do better in basketball. But the culture of shame was constantly cultivated in schools, and just seeing teachers saying negative things about students who couldn't perform, and just saying outrightly, shame on you. It's just a culture of shame, and the shame didn't make the students perform better. I think it just had a toll on their self-esteem, and that's why we have a society that is so broken. And I think the essence of going to school is bringing up people who are whole, and just bringing up people who are well equipped to survive in the society. But when we make schools the places where people are broken, their self-esteem is broken, I think we just miss the whole point of why people have to go to school. And lastly, something that I think our systems didn't cover, and I think I mentioned, it's just life skills. How to handle money, how to handle pressure, how to interact with people, how to honor others. And those skills, they were not taught in school, and they were not as emphasized as the grades were emphasized. And I don't know what, if you're watching this, if you are a parent or you aspire to become a parent, I know there is something that we can do about our school systems. I know even at home we can instill better values on our students and our pupils. And if you're a teacher and you're watching this, I know we can do better than shaming people who don't perform. I think we can see people with better eyes. If we could just try to identify what they can do better if they're not doing so well in class. And those things, we just build a whole community that has people who are whole and who can drive the community forward. And I'm not bitter about it, but I think this is something that just gets to me. Like, every time I think about it, and having seen it, I just know, well. And just to answer the big question, I think if education is not making people whole, if education is not giving people values that they're going to live by, then it is overrated, to be honest. It is overrated to have good grades and you can't survive in a society. And I am not ranting, I'm sorry people, but I've come to the end of this video. And kama kawaida, as usual, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And I would want to hear what you think in the comment section below. And also don't forget to subscribe and share this video in your circles of friends. And until next time, you guys have a good one, and bye bye.